15 years ago, we began a journey. Today, we're still here, still organizing, still advocating, still showing up. Because hope doesn't just appear, it's built. One action at a time, one voice at a time, one community member at a time.
We're witnessing unprecedented levels of anti-Arab sentiment in our politics, media, and culture. This isn't just prejudice. It is harming our families and livelihoods. It creates barriers in our schools, workplaces, and communities. But hope shows up when we refuse to accept this reality.
Hope shows up when neighbors knock on doors together, when we show up to city council meetings and demand to be heard, when we show up to the halls of power in the state legislature and demand to be counted, when Little Arabia becomes not just a place on a map, but a community with real political power.
In these 15 years, we've seen xenophobia escalate. Public policies that target our community, in the treatment of our students on local campuses, in media narratives that distort our reality. But hope shows up by challenging these systems, by organizing, by advocating, by demanding justice.
Hope shows up through power, through building Arab American voices that cannot be ignored, through turning our community's energy into votes, into seats at the table, into representatives who answer to us constituents and not lobbying groups. For 15 years, that's what we've been doing.
Hope shows up through education, knowing our rights, understanding the ballot, learning how to hold our elected officials accountable. Knowledge is how we turn our presence into power.
Hope shows up at the ballot box, through registering voters, through making our voices heard in every election. This year, we're mobilizing 100,000 voters to the polls, because real hope requires real action.
Hope shows up through training, through workshops that build our political power, through youth leadership programs that cultivate the next generation of Arab American leaders. Leaders who will run for office, sit on boards, and hold power accountable.
Hope shows up through engagement, through going directly to the policymakers and saying, here are our needs, we expect action. Through showing up at town halls, through building the kind of alliances that make our community impossible to ignore.
Hope shows up through solidarity, through building relationships with our neighbors who share our streets, our struggles, and our stakes in this democracy. This has been our work for 15 years.
Hope shows up by demanding to be counted. For the longest time, we've been visibly invisible. We fought for Arab Americans to be recognized in state data collection and the census, because when our community is invisible in the data, we're invisible in the policy. That fight was about more than a checkbox. It was about making sure our needs could never be ignored again.
Hope shows up when we refuse to let others define us. For 15 years, we've been telling the stories of this community, of the families who built Little Arabia from nothing, of the businesses that anchor our streets, of the resilience that no policy could erase. These stories are our power.
Today, we invite you to continue this journey with us, to be part of our mission, to believe in our vision, to help build an America where Arab Americans can thrive. We need to mobilize 100,000 Arab Americans to the polls this year and hold our elected representatives accountable to our community's needs. We need to keep organizing in Little Arabia and building the district we deserve. Your donation makes this possible. For 15 years, we've been showing up like hope. Now we need your support more than ever. Together, we can build an America that we all deserve.